I only have, well, at least prepared one little thing from our last meeting. I talked a little bit about using Google Drive folders as a way
Mm-hmm.
to share your files. So I can go over that later if we have questions now, or I can kick off with that if nobody has any questions.
They were
You
fixed that
should.
insert links issue that they were periodically having.
What was
Remember
that?
remember the two ways to insert links on a
Yes.
website? Did they fix the one that wasn't working?
Unfortunately, not yet, because it,
Okay.
it seems to be tied to another issue that we're having. The caption tool, that one isn't used as often, um, but it's proving to be not as simple as they first thought because it's tied to that secondary tool, but definitely still on the list.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Not to the by the time they get it fixed, I'll have to work around. I won't know how to go back.
If you don't, we'll always remind you. You know that we go for ease. Once that's set in place, we'll be demoing the easy way to do it.
You know if there is any other long-term issues that they haven't resolved yet besides that one?
Long-term issues.
One nagging ones that they
I
haven't
don't
resolved.
think so. There
Okay.
was one that did come up. I think it was the last session, or maybe, yeah, it was last session, um, where someone had created a new clone of a published page, and when she saved that new clone as a draft, it was as if it was published. But
Hmm.
that one is a brand new one that has barely been presented to the team, so has not been touched as of yet. But I don't know if it's luckily, but we did only hear it from one person, but that doesn't mean it's not happening, beyond that. So that's kind of the newest one, being a global site-wide thing.
Yeah, I know when I've cloned before, if you don't save it right away, you sometimes can't find it again to go back, even as a draft.
Okay.
So you got to go to that, was it was that
Manage
one
content.
managed content to find, and sometimes it's not in there. So you know you really screwed it up. So
Huh.
Well, if you're going to do something, do it well.
yeah.
You know.
Well, and one of the not a broken thing, but it was one of the requests we got about the LWV member portal. I think Jennifer, you had asked about this, and then there were many others that agreed to have the portal button open in a new tab. So that's done.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
I've noticed
thank
that. That's
you.
great. Thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully that cuts down on some confusion for folks, if they, you know, end up on the portal and then they don't realize, oh, I'm not on my league's website anymore.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was obviously missing the last couple of weeks or the last couple sessions, so I'm interested in how you did that Google Drive.
Yeah, yeah, let's talk about it. I can't recall exactly how we got to, because I know we talked about, we probably were talking about how, with MyLO, the media library, there are a couple of limitations. We know the file size limit is 2 MB, and then you can only upload one file at a time. So the alternative is using your Google Drive, and you can upload multiple files at a time. You can upload entire folders at once, but then you don't have a file size limit. So that really comes in handy when you have big documents that, yes, you can compress them, but sometimes they either don't compress small enough to 2 megabytes or lower, or it's just really lowering the quality of your stuff. So Google Drive is a great way to provide that. I wish I would remember the site. We had first talked about embedding like a PDF in your MyLO site from Google Drive, and that's a great way to like display the PDF on your website. Um, but now we're going to talk about a Google Drive folder. So not just one file, but an entire folder of files being shared on your MyLO site. So I did already embed one on this page just so I can show you what it looks like.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it really allows you to show or embed the entire folder. It doesn't matter about the type of file because I have an image, I have a slideshow or Google Slides, and then Google Documents. So and
Now,
you
is
can have
this
PDFs and all that
living, is the Google document actually living on your drive?
on my Google Drive. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So note
embedding
to
it.
self, don't erase it or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The moment that's a good question or, thing to bring up because if you, let me see if I can bring up that folder and delete a file or at least remove it, and then we'll see it happen in real time on the MyLO page. If it will open, come on. There we go. All right, let's see if I can, let's just move it to trash for now. Okay, so now that's one of the Google Docs removed. When I come back here and refresh, it's
Okay,
immediately reflected. Yeah. So
awesome.
the moment you would drop new files in, remove files, it's all shown here.
And
So
can anyone who looks at the file, can they edit?
no. So the
Good.
thing about
Okay.
yeah, the thing about it is that I'm still as myself here on my Google, so it allows
Yes.
me to edit, but let me go ahead and well, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if I drop the link to you guys, see if you can see the Google Drive folder embedded and then see how Google Docs look to you.
Okay.
But yeah, it will always open it up in a new tab and take them over to Google to view the file, no
Okay.
matter what it is.
It
Wow.
lets me edit it.
It does.
Wow.
Do I have it? Maybe I have it shared to anybody. That's probably why.
Let's go back to which I'm
Oh, it
editing.
says anyone with the link is a commenter. Does it allow you to edit or just comment?
I was, uh, sorry, let me go back. To open up the voting in person document
Hmm.
and went down to the vote by mail bullet
Type
points.
something in.
And
Yeah.
then I
So it
just,
lets you comment. It does not let you edit. And that's how I have it set up currently. So
uh,
it does
okay,
depend on the permissions that you've set up. If I just put viewer, um, then if you refresh the document, you'll see you're not able to make changes.
okay, because, all right, so I crossed out vote by mail and it's gave me all those comments. And so then I closed the document and then it comes back and it's got the vote by mail crossed out in the document.
Because you
But it's,
commented that already.
okay, then it says it has to reload it and then it comes reloaded and it's there again. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you do want to make sure that not just the permissions you have set for the folder, but the permissions you have set for the individual things inside are set up properly. So let's go over that. Um, did I set up another folder? Let's just use the same one. So, um, starting out on our home page. So I don't know if I need to go over like, uploading files and then setting up the folder in Google Drive. I could start from like the very beginning. Um, why don't we do that? Let's just do that. It doesn't hurt to do it that way. So I want to start off first with adding in the files that I have on my computer. So either you can upload them individually, um, or you can upload them by the entire file. Or folder, sorry. When I say file upload, uploading them individually, it's obviously different than MyLO. You can upload multiple files at once, But if you have them in different folders, then you'll obviously have to parse it out. I actually have them all in one folder. So let me just find where I put that folder. There we go. So I select my test folder and then hit upload over here. So it just makes sure that you're uploading files that you trust. Double check that you hit upload. Oh, since I have a folder already named test, I'm just going to say to keep both. And
How
it'll
will it
take a second.
differentiate?
I
How will
don't
it differentiate?
I don't know. I'm going to change the name after I look at one of them.
Okay.
Okay. Um, oh,
Oh,
it
test one,
adds
test
it
two.
adds number one. Great.
Okay.
Okay. So we've added in our new folder. When it comes in, the permissions are usually private. So that's what we'll want to do next. We click on the folder name and this pops up. If you're at like your entire drive or home, it's the same thing. You would, whoops, let me go back to my drive. That's where I saw the folder. You would click on either the three dots or right click on it. So all those different ways to get to this little menu. Um, then we'll go to share and open up these share settings.
If you wait a minute for hold a second.
Mhm.
You said something I'm not quite agreeing with. When I've done this before and you say upload, it uploads if you upload it to a folder or your root or wherever on your Google Share,
Mhm.
it defaults to the rights in that folder.
Well,
So if you have because I have one that's called League of Women Voters that I share with my board, and every folder I upload in it has those same rights. It gives
right,
me a warning saying it's shared.
right.
So it doesn't come in as private. It attaches the existing rights that folder has to
So
all your files.
I just uploaded a folder. So because it's a brand new folder, the default permissions are to be private, to be restricted.
Okay,
But
I got to go check mine then.
But be,
Okay,
but you are working with an existing folder in the Google Drive where you've changed the permissions already. And
right.
the reason for, when you upload new files, that is expected. It should match the permissions of that folder that it's being added to. But because I'm working with a brand new folder that I'm adding, those permissions by default are restricted.
Okay. Now you also can set it up so it syncs the shared drive with the one on your hard drive or wherever you uploaded it from. So when you make a change on your own PC, it automatically uploads to where you're sharing it. I believe you can sync it.
Okay, I don't know about that, and yeah, I won't be including that because I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know how to do it either. I've done it before, but it's been a long time.
Okay, so since I'm uploading this folder brand new, I want to make sure that folks at least have the ability to view it. So instead of restricted, we choose anyone with the link. And then again, the default role is viewer. If you wanted to allow them commenting access, which is not just allowing comments, it's allowing suggestions of changes to be made. So as we saw here in this document, Mike was able to suggest a few things. He was able to, type into the document, but the changes don't go through immediately. They make a comment off to the right, and then we can see kind of the track changes that are being suggested there. So if we don't want that, then we just leave it as viewer. And typically you don't want the role of editor in this situation if you're trying to share on your public website, some files from your Google Drive. But you have those three roles to choose from.
All right, one more question.
Yeah?
Because one of the things obviously we could use it here for is we upload a PDF of events or stuff, or like voting rights. Now, can you download from here? Do all
Yes.
these accesses have the ability to download?
Yeah. So let's do it with a
In other words, the voting
picture.
in person would be a great thing. That's like to hand out to voters when you go to a sign up or whatever. So I'd like to have my committee person in charge of voter registration and download the newest stuff all the time.
Okay.
So they don't have to be editor to do that?
I don't believe so. Let's see if there's a way to download here on, huh. Okay. So I went to the viewing and you guys can double check this too if you have the link that I dropped in the chat. Um, when you are looking at whatever the file is, whether it's a picture, a document, at least for Google Docs, the option will be off to the left under File. You know, you can download in any format there. For an image here, it's the typical symbol download up in the top right. I don't have a PDF in here, but I think the PDF, a PDF document would have the same option off to the top right. So it does look like no matter what the file type is, it does give the viewer an option to download. I'm going to double check with this slideshow as well.
Okay.
Um, this one's a little harder because I'm an editor on this and I don't think I can change that. Okay, that's fine. I will leave it at that. But it looks like at least for the most part, most files you can download. All right, so I've set up my test one folder to be shareable. Let's go ahead and open it up. Um, the other way to do it, or you can see that with this little icon, the folder is being shared. And this is another place if you needed to edit those general access settings to do that from. So now, let's see where.
Oh, Anne Maurice, I did go to the PDF or the slideshow and from your link, and I can download
Okay, awesome.
by file,
Awesome.
by
Okay.
the file.
So it looks like so far, at least Google Doc and Slides, you would go to File and then Download. Thank you for that. And I forgot to drop the documentation that I'm referring to for this because we do have MyLO documentation about using Google Drive to embed your folders. Okay, so now that we have the file or the folder created in the Google Drive, the next part will be essentially pulling the ID of your folder. So essentially that just means the last part of the URL. This is the ID of your folder. So what I'm going to do is just put that here in a notepad so that I can hold on to it because the documentation gives us the other part of it. There's the section called the final steps, and it is the HTML embed code that we need to work with. So let me copy that and paste it here. So the parts we want to pay attention to because we need to change them. The first most important is your ID. This is going to identify which Google folder should be embedded. And that's where this long string of numbers and letters comes from. And then after title, all of this. So you can, I think in our instructions, we made this bold as if the rest of it you needed to leave it. Everything within these quotation marks you can customize. So let's start with first replacing the your ID part. And make sure you do not remove the hashtag or pound after that. Whoops. So we're just replacing the word your ID. We paste that in. Okay. And we'll show an example of each because there's a list view, which we saw here. And then there's also a grid view. Whoops, it was on the notepad. So this word after the hashtag could be either list or grid, depending on which look you want to have. The width, we just use 100 so that it will respond to different screen sizes. You know, the height you can tweak if you need to. And I'm just going to make it simple for myself. Test folder on Google Drive will be the title of my list there. Okay, so I've built up my iframe or my HTML. Let's open my window back up. Well, actually, let's try the grid view since we're seeing the title one there already. So let me change list to grid. All right. So just like any other embed code, travel to the page you want to see it on, and then make sure you're working in the full HTML before you paste it in. Since I have this already here, I'm going to just add it there. I'll add a line break in between just so that we can make sure it's not right next to each other, but we should be able to tell the difference. Whoops, I'll leave it as a draft. Oh no, I did accidentally hit view changes. Let's try that again. Whoops. All right, again, line break, and that's not required, but I'm just adding that. But we pasted in the code. Let's see what that comes up as. Oh, there we go. So it looks like
Cool.
the title is no longer being it's being ignored, it sounds like, because we did have an entry there, but it's not displaying for either the list view or the grid view. So in this case, I would just use MyLO, add your title um, using MyLO, and then you can format it much easier that way. So let's just add one to the list. So let's say list of files, and then I can very easily, format it to what I want it to look like. And while we're here, I might as well show again embedding just the single file. So in the last session, we saw that used like especially with the voter newsletter, um, you can embed the file directly on your page so that if folks want to just read it right there, they can, or they can click to open it in a new tab and read it on your Google Drive. So let's actually work with this
Go
file
back to the
here.
edit again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Because you added the text under the original format box, but could you go down with the and add a additional formatted text underneath that and then just change them around?
Yeah, yeah, you totally can.
So then you could add another one, and so you'd have your additional text, then you would have your body with embedded code, then additional text again, and the body with additional code for both versions.
Yep, yep, very, very much true. You could yeah, have a pair of each type so that you have the formatted text box with the heading and then the embed code box with just the embed code. Um, yeah, you can always, mix it up and separate it to make it easier for you using these different body with embed code
And then
boxes.
the titles would be next to the list is what I'm getting at. So it's not confused with the other part. So it'd just be easier for me to explain to somebody else, I guess, who comes after me.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes total sense. Make it clear, not just for the people on the front end, but for the people on the back end too. Definitely. Yeah, so I'll leave it here on the draft since I wanted to go over how to embed a single form or a single file. So the first step is to start like this. Open the file in your Google Drive where you are looking at it. Um, There we go. And then we hit the three dots for more actions, and the final option is to embed item. I think you will have to be logged in to the owner account of the Google Drive that the file is in to get this option. Let me have you guys test that for me. Drop in the link to the file. Um, when you view it and you click more actions, do you get the option to embed item?
Have to look.
Nope.
No?
It's
Okay.
find details, send feedback, embedded item, report abuse.
Embedded item?
EMBED, embedded,
Okay, so
embed.
it does give you the option to embed item. So you don't have to be the file owner or the Google Drive owner. So that's,
Oh, so okay, it gives me HTML.
you click embed
Good.
item and it gives you the HTML for that
Yes,
item. We copy
yes.
that and then just the same as before, I copied my HTML. This time I don't have to actually edit the HTML. But I'm going to do just like before. Actually going to just get rid of those. And we paste that in. We can tweak the height and width, same as the other one. I love 100% width because it just responds to different device screen sizes. Um, and then, if you play around with the width, you might end up seeing you need to play with the height. Height usually does best in a static number rather than percentages, but definitely, you know, play around with it if you need. You can always go back and regenerate that embed code if necessary. So there we go. We get
Cool.
the file directly into the page, and then if somebody wants to look at it in a new tab, they click on the pop out icon. And then same as before, it's taken you to the Google Drive to view the full file.
Oh, this is
Cool.
cool. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mike, you are a real optimist to think no matter how logically you set things up, someone's going to take over from you.
It's
I'm
good.
just,
Yeah.
It's good, hopeful thinking though.
yeah, it is. It's very
Gotta
optimistic.
prepare.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Hit by a truck philosophy, right?
that we always say that too. Yeah, you got to prepare in case the bus comes and hits somebody. You don't want to have just one
Yeah.
person on the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, if your league is already using Google Drive and especially if that's where your league is already housing most of its files, you might consider this as another way of getting your files onto MyLO. And technically, they're reachable from MyLO, but they're living in the Google Drive still. Any questions or if anybody wants to see anything again with those?
Um,
Yeah, go
I'm
for it, Chris.
sorry. I just I didn't start at the beginning. So, you're saying that you can create these pages and just save them in MyLO so you can use them. I mean, like creating a page and just don't publish them and just keep them in MyLO.
So
Um,
not that's not really the objective. Mostly it was if a lot of times the files that you're working with are bigger than 2 MB, and
oh,
that's
yes, yes,
our the cutoff
right.
for the upload limit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
if, they're large files and condensing that file or compressing it makes it either, bad quality or it just doesn't get down to two or fewer
Oh, yeah,
megabytes.
I've had that problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you might consider using Google Drive as an alternative,
Okay.
because obviously it offers, the flexibility that we just saw, and then there is
Oh,
no
that's
file size
fantastic.
limit either in Google Drive.
Okay. Um, I have another question.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of the Google account, so I do all the email. I send out all the emails, and I'm in charge of the Google Drive. Now I can share folders, but I can't share the whole drive, right? Can I share the whole drive with somebody on
You,
like the president or I
that is a
believe?
very good question. I think they would have to have access to your Google account. Um,
I know I've tried to give them, see,
mm,
I want to keep it secure, so I use Bitwarden, which, gives you random passwords. And so I guess I can ask them to get Bitwarden and then I can share my passwords with them and they can use it. But I mean, people are kind of resistant. Um,
Or you could open up a Google account, open up a Gmail for your leak, and then give the permissions to the president. So two of you could access it.
okay, I know about that. I know about that. I'm talking about the folders in the drive.
Right. Well, if you opened up a Gmail account, then you'd have a Google Drive.
Right.
But to
But
ask
do
your
they?
question, I just tried it. I could not assign uh, rights to, because I have a League of Women Voters drive set up, and I can't
Yeah.
assign rights to the drive,
yeah,
but I can assign rights to the folders within the drive.
yeah.
Okay. 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 That was my
And then you can
question.
assign obviously different rights or the same rights to files within the folders. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe the workaround would be add all of your files or all the ones you want them to have access to a folder and then
mhm.
set the
Right. That's
sharing
a good
permissions how
idea.
you want. And the other
Okay,
thing
that's a good
too,
idea.
let's see, you can add individuals. So
Right.
if you needed to, you can add specific emails so that you can give them different roles if necessary.
Okay. Okay, great. That works.
But
Awesome.
getting back to the generic uh, emails for the different officers in the chapter, I know that was a big topic at the Michigan League of Women Voters convention, where that and the generic phone number, so you can pass it
Yeah.
on to different people. Because I
Yeah.
run that same problem. I've got things on my hard drive, and then I moved it to the shared folder where I'm sharing with the board, but it's still tied to me, and I need to get that more generic. We're
Right.
looking into open up what they call a Google Suite of some kind for
Mhm.
nonprofits.
Mhm.
I
But
know
then
they
you get
have
then you start in the Pandora's box of, do you have a valid EIN number? And then it
Yeah, I have to
spins.
bring all the required documentation, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no way to change your Google account to a Google group account.
No. You can
No.
make a Google group. Well, I don't know if that's, yeah, the Google group is another way to make like collaboration amongst your board, but then it doesn't have a tie to your Google Drive as far as the permissions there.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah, it sounds like the folder would be the best option.
The folder would be the best option, I
And
think.
and then you
Yeah.
don't have to create a new Google Drive or anything like
Right,
that.
right. Good. And does it sync to, like, if I make changes to one folder, the folder that I'm sharing also update?
Yeah.
Or, okay,
Yeah.
great, great.
Um, I can show you even, oh, well, no, we got rid of it.
That's okay. That's
But yeah,
okay.
it does in
Yeah,
in real time update for
okay.
them.
Oh, great. Okay, that I'm gonna do that. Thank
Awesome.
you.
It was
Yeah.
magic, Tess. It was absolute magic to watch it happen.
Yeah,
Update. I mean, it was like, well, so cool.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah. And then I think the the default like if it's a free, you're not paying for extra storage. I think
Right.
20 gigs might be the limit. Um
Hmm.
because I
15 or 20.
okay. Because I know I paid for 100 gigs and I think I pay like $1 a month. So it's really not, it's pretty
Yeah, it's not that
inexpensive
much.
if you
Yeah.
needed to upgrade too.
Yeah. Great.
And Google Suites, have you explored TechSoup?
Oh yeah, TechSoup is a great service or whatever they would be considered, but using them for um subscriptions or services that you're looking to get into, always check in with TechSoup first. The only downside is that you have to um have that qualifying status.
501(c)(3).
Right.
Yes.
So you do have to have that in place before even having access to TechSoup. But it really is helpful if you have that, and then you can really save a lot on, yeah, like Google Suites, Adobe, all kinds of things that you're using digitally, and leagues use all
QuickBooks.
kinds of stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
So
all sorts of programs.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. I always forget that, but it's such a helpful resource. Even if it saves you a couple $100, it's worth it. But yeah,
What's
that's what I had prepared. So if you guys have questions, or I can, scour our
One more
forums.
comment,
Yeah.
because when you scroll down to the bottom here
Hmm.
on the footer,
Oh, uh-huh.
uh, that phone number I
Hmm.
have run across is legible in this format for browsers and your phone, but on the iPad, the print is not the same way. It's faded.
It's in a different color.
Yes, like almost the same color as the background.
Yeah. That is unfortunately
I
part of the because I think it's on iPhone too. That
No, the
is the
iPhone works
formatting.
good.
Oh,
The iPhone works great. It's just the iPad. Oh no, it's on both. You're right. I apologize.
yeah. Um,
I'm looking right at them.
it is
Sorry.
an unfortunate part of their formatting on those kinds of phones. I think it's just because they make phone numbers hyperlinks because they're mobile devices that you're on.
Ye- Yes.
Um, so yeah, unfortunately, that is part of the. So I
Okay, so
don't
you know
think
about
I
that
don't
then, so
think
that's
it's
good.
just I or Apple products. I think it might be other mobile devices too, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. Mary Jo, did you have a question? I saw your hand for a second.
Yeah, so I was just quickly perusing the questions that had come in since our last meeting,
Oh no.
and I don't know if you wanted to comment on it. There was something about uh, portal website domain. Somebody received an email or something.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure about that because I didn't know what.
that's for the membership portal.
Oh,
Yeah, that
I'm
that
pretty sure.
oh, why did
Yeah.
they? Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay. And then the other thing, there was something about adjusting photo size. I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, let's see if I can refresh my memory on it. It was a
I don't know if you answered
specific,
them. I don't know.
yeah, there was a specific situation on her homepage. I don't know if I can quickly recreate it, but let's see if maybe she still has it up. Oops. They are just LWV Los Angeles. No, looks like they need to update their domain settings. I'll make a note to reach out to them. Okay, let's see. Okay,
No good deed goes unpunished.
so it does look like she might not have changed it just yet. So I believe, and that was the other part too. I wasn't sure if I was giving her the correct solution because I didn't fully get if it was what I was talking about or if it might have been something else. But what I assumed was the question was that the images here and here, and this is the front page, they're rather large, and she wanted them to be much smaller so that it was easier to scroll the page and that they weren't, just taking over the front page entirely. To have them look something like this. So I realized that the there was differences between the ones that are showing up smaller down here and the ones that are showing up super huge up here. So the ones down here, these were added as main images. And we know that a main image, there's a specific field for that to be added. When it comes to the bigger images, those were added to the body of the page or event, whatever it is that she added it to. But because they're in the body, uh, the MyLO system, we know it takes about 2 to 300 of the first HTML characters at the top of a page to create this summary. Because it's just taking those characters straight from the body, then it's also assuming the size of the image that should be shown in the summary should be the same size of the image in the body. Um, so all that to say is that it's not resizing anything because the MyLO system is not going to change the HTML. It's literally just picking it up and putting it exactly as it's been added. So let's see if I can. Well, I'm not going to make any changes to their site. Um, let's see if I can just recreate it here on one of my other pages or one of
Why
my
don't you go
demo
back? Because
sites.
I want to see how another one, how they embedded the front page of their voter newsletter. That was kind of cool.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to know how to do that.
It looks like they just took a screenshot
Oh,
of
okay.
one of their newsletters and then, yeah, put it as their main image.
Oh, I can do that then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna, well,
I'm the master of the snippet tool, and I couldn't figure that out. Can't believe it.
we'll add one to
Ah,
both here. So I'm adding a main image. This option here, I'm going to check do not display a hero image, since that just means like this is a hero image, meaning that it's displaying at the very top of the page. So this main image here on the voter page, they do have it displaying as a hero image. So I am doing the opposite. But what I'm also going to do is add an image to the body at the very, very top. Um, if the image were added lower down the page, it's usually not getting picked up because again, the MyLO system picks up 2 to 300 of the first HTML characters. So let's try that. I'm going to publish this and promote it to the front page. And then let's pop over there and see what we get. Since I added a main image and one to the body, yep, we are getting both of them. So obviously this is not a great look. Um, and obviously we have two pictures. It's probably best to just go with one or the other. In the case of the LA League, we see, this was an image as part of the body. There is no main image. This is an image part of the body. There is no main image. And then these are all main images. So in this league site, they have them used separately. In this demo, I'm using them at the same time. So let's see. I guess I can go over, if you wanted to keep the main image or if you wanted to keep, this image from the body. So let's go back to new draft and fix this up a bit.
I hope she's not working on her page and going, what is
Oh
happening?
no, I'm on my demo site.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to,
Ooh.
unless the person is actually here in this meeting, I don't ever make changes to a league site.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, so let's first use just the main image. So the thing that becomes really important here is the summary. When we hit edit summary, it reveals this empty paragraph box. Um, I will repeat this until the day that I am hit by a bus. The MyLO system will always take the first 2 to 300 HTML characters from the body. So just to give you a visual of that, if I disable the rich text so we see the HTML, that's probably somewhere about here, maybe a little less, but that's just the image. And that's why in the summary that we saw a second ago on the home page, we just had the image, the image, and that was it. So if we want to have like the beginning of our text shown, then I'm just going to copy from there and paste that in. Um, when it comes to the summary, it does have to be HTML formatted if you wanted it to show up like in different formats. If we had things bolded or italicized, then you do have to copy from the HTML. And in that case, what I usually do, I put my little separator word. Obviously, dinosaur is not going to be used anywhere else on the page. And then I hit disable rich text. I see that divider word. Um, and usually you'll want to copy like the opening tag. And opening tag just means it does not have a slash at the beginning. So we start from here. Obviously, since I just want the first sentence, I have to really pay attention to where that ending point would be. So I would stop at the first period there and copy. And then let's just replace that. Okay, so let's try saving it as that instead. We do have to publish since we have it promoted and we want to see those changes. All right, let's go back. Here we go. New page is the one, and we have now our summary that we've essentially forced to be there. And then we have the formatting that we added since we made sure to copy from that HTML side. So that one's rather easy. Let's go back and do it the other way. So let's take off the main image and let's work with just the image in the body, but obviously we want to make that image smaller and excuse me, and make it look good with the text around it. Okay. Oh, first step, remove that main image, and that just empties the field.
Slow down there a minute. Couldn't they put, because I know where the main image worked, but in the alternative hero image, couldn't they have put that, scroll down that picture of the ballot box there
You could,
and,
but
and accomplish the same thing?
no, if the goal is to have the image showing up on the front page,
No, that would be
um,
the main. That's always the main. I understand that.
but the goal is to have it in the summary, and the alternate hero image shows up on the
The main,
page
the
that you're
page.
looking at. Hmm.
But you don't have to put it in the box. You would put it there instead, the text box. Scroll down a little bit. You wouldn't need it in the body. You could put it in the alternative and you would still have it on the page.
But it
In
would
other words,
not,
the main,
it wouldn't be in the summary. That's the
no,
difference.
no,
And
I understand. I don't want it in the summary. I don't want it in the body. I just want to take it out of the body.
you could, but I am trying to see about having this in the summary.
Okay.
But
All right. Okay. Yeah. I just threw that in there. I'm sorry. I'm confusing the issue here.
no worries. Yeah, but to your point, that is definitely, an option. If you have a main image here, that's what's going to show up on the front page always. If you add in an alternate hero image, then when we click, let's use this as an example. If we click through to here and they were using an alternate hero image, when we look at the voter page, then we would see a different image, the alternate hero image here instead.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Gotcha.
If you have a main image and nothing else, it'll show up both on the home page and the actual page. If you have a main image and a alternative issue, the main issue would show up on your home page, but the alternative image would show up on the page itself.
Correct. Yeah. And
English isn't my first language.
as long as you're using both of those image fields, you would want to make sure you have this unchecked, right? Because you want to make sure
Yep.
the alternate hero image shows up. Yeah. So, um, yes, that's probably a solution I could have recommended to the original question asker of this adjusting photo sizes, because that's another way of doing it, and you don't have to worry about having an image in the body and getting it to the right size you want, the alternate hero image will just go with the default image size.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at badly.
Gotcha. No, you are all good. Okay, so let's go ahead and try making this look kind of better, I guess. So I've made the image a lot smaller. I'm gonna float the image left. Let me just get
Cool.
rid of this. And then just as we did before, this is probably a little long for a summary, but there's no limit. It's really up to you how long you want it to be. So I've disabled rich text so that I can copy this entirely. And this is what I'll put in the summary. Because if we left the summary blank, then again, we'll just see this image. We wouldn't see the text that we also want to see. So I copied that, pasted it all in its entirety. Let's go ahead and publish once again. And there we go. The fun thing about images on the front page when they're, items that are promoted, no matter where the image is added, if it's in the body or not, it gives that little outline around it. So it kind of gives it that look of a main image when we're looking here. But we click over to view the entire page, and then it just it looks the same as the summary because we copied it exactly. So we saw many different ways. We talked about one that we didn't even see, but yeah, like Mike's suggestion, using main hero or main image and alternate hero image is one way of doing that. Um, if you have the image directly in the body, then you always can copy from the HTML to make your summary look exactly as you want it to. Yeah. Any questions about this one?
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, goody, another way to get frustrated.
There you go.
No.
It's just
So,
you just have so many different solutions. It's hard to pick.
Yes.
so I have a question with to everyone. Um, I'm starting to put in news items on my homepage instead of buried under the news, the news menu at the top.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So I'm thinking of just getting rid of that. What do you think about that? I mean, on the homepage, is there a limit to how many? I mean, if you keep scrolling down, people can see what was news prior, right? I mean, is
Yes,
there a
as
limit
long
to
as
that?
you have it promoted, it will stay there. I don't know how much content I have on this demo site,
Mm-hmm.
but uh I don't have too much, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
just check everything. Obviously, my slideshow items won't promote, but
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
checked everything and promote it, okay, I have about 30
Okay.
minus those slideshow items. I know that the limit or the well, I'll go over that in a second, but as far as I can see, there isn't a limit
Mm-hmm.
here. Um, when we talk about managing front page items, like if you're trying to rearrange the order or set
Right.
a specific limit, that
Right.
limit
Right.
is
Right.
30. But I
Okay.
think that you can go beyond that.
So how can you just type in a number?
Here,
Like, can you type in 100? Yeah.
so this one here is a limit of 30, but
Okay.
I I'm not sure. Let's see if I can pop over to
Okay.
another demo site actually, because I know I have other sites that have more content. Let's see about the sample. Okay, that's good. Um,
Oh,
again,
okay.
minus the slideshow items, I don't know what that'll leave us with.
Okay.
But if I make sure everything is promoted,
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, this should be a pretty good example. I would guess that my slideshow items are probably like maybe 10,
Hmm.
15 items. This is
So so theoretically there is some kind of limit. Um, so okay, so if it hits a limit, you're not going to lose that file. It's
no.
still going to be there.
Yeah, the
Right.
content will
Okay.
still exist.
Okay.
So see, right now
Okay.
I promoted all those items, but
Yeah.
I have just
Yeah.
10 visible because that's what I
Hmm.
selected previously.
Right.
But I'm
Right.
gonna reset
Right.
that and then it should, yeah, there we go. It makes them all visible now.
Okay.
Which it looks like I only have 24 items.
Okay. That's all right.
I thought it was going to be more. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be a limit. But you can impose a limit yourself here
Right.
on manage front page items.
Right.
Um, yeah,
But what do
so
you think about me removing the news item? Because I kind of feel like when things are buried in the menu, people don't necessarily go there. Um, a lot of things are, especially nowadays, things are moving so fast. I don't want to bury important news
mhm.
in a menu. I'd like to just have it on the front page, but I don't want to have to repeat it, like put it, I don't want to have to, I can't promote, if I post a news item as news, I can't promote it to the front page, can I?
You can if you're creating like if you're adding an article, you
Well,
can
what
promote.
about, okay. Um, but doesn't the article show up as news? This is what is amazing. I mean, when you create a page, there doesn't seem to be a place to choose news.
Yeah,
Um,
so there isn't a way for you to dictate this needs to show up on news or this needs to show up on the calendar. It's dictated
okay,
by the type of content. So the
right.
only articles will always show up on news when you have them published and made
Oh,
public.
okay.
And then same for action alerts, positions,
So I can,
events.
okay, let me just, so when I click on the news menu, it doesn't show up as a page. It's almost like I have to add it, I have to put it in the same page. Um,
Yeah, news is technically it's not a page because what we know of as a page is
mhm,
like the about page.
yeah,
We recognize it as a page because it has, the webmaster buttons at the top, view publish, new
right,
draft, moderate,
right, right,
and
right,
then
right.
we're able to directly edit it and make changes to it. But when it comes to a page like articles, we call it page, but I guess the technical term is a dynamic view. So it's a way to view your content, because the content is considered these individual
Hmm.
articles.
Hmm.
So it gathers your article type content in this one place to view it all, but it doesn't allow you to directly edit it other than through the league's headers.
Okay.
But
So if I have a piece of news, then I can create it as an article and then promote it to the front page. Is that
mhm,
something I can do?
yeah.
Okay. But I can't promote it as news
N
because, okay. So
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
that
it'll still say
item,
news.
what's
But
that?
It'll say news. I'm looking right at mine. Or
But what
public.
I'm saying is you can't have separate items in news. You have to just keep adding on to what's already there, it looks like.
as far as when you promote it to the front page, is that what you're referring to?
No.
Or
Do you think you can go to my webpage so I
yeah,
can show you?
for
I'm
sure.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm taking up time here.
No, we're here for the questions. What's your league's site test?
Um,
Or even
it's
just the name?
yeah, LWVACJ, Abington, Cheltenham, Jenkintown.
Okay, thank you.
That's a mouthful.
I
The
know.
acronyms come in handy sometimes,
Oh,
right?
there we go. So if you go to advocacy, I don't know why I have it. So then I have news, right?
Okay.
Okay. So under news, it's like if I want to
Oh, okay, this is a
add
page.
another,
So this is
I
different than
tried,
this is
I
not,
tried to add a, okay. I tried to add a page to, but I
You
don't know.
succeeded.
How do you create a page for news?
okay, so these are different. What I was explaining previously, this is a
It's a part of the system. It's
yeah,
part of
this is a default part of the MyLO site that you receive. And that's where, you create an article, it automatically gets dropped here. But when we look over at your page here, news updates, this is specifically a page that you created. So if you created a new
Oh,
article, it's not going to automatically drop into
all
this
right. So
page.
I'll just delete that then. I'll just, I don't need that then. I'll
Okay.
just,
If
yeah,
you could even, if necessary, create an or add an article and then copy all of this into it if you did want it to reside on your articles page.
right, right, right.
So yeah, this articles
So
in your menu is
somebody,
the same.
so that was already there when I started. So somebody somewhere created that
Gotcha.
page. I see. So
Yeah.
this is not from Milo. Okay.
No.
I understand now.
Okay, awesome. It really
Okay,
does help
thank
to
you.
pull up the site and talk about it directly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Mary Jo.
Well, would this be a good time to put a plug in for subscribed news articles?
Oh, always.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I do
let's
that.
So I was
okay.
looking at my page and a lot of it has
Yeah,
come
I
through.
subscribe.
You do
Yeah,
that.
I
Okay.
Awesome.
subscribe. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. See, I have Central Delaware County, all of
US.
those are subscribed. Yeah,
Great. Yeah.
But
yeah,
we've got it from national. Yeah.
hmm yeah. I mean, I'm really bummed that Pennsylvania, you can't subscribe to LV, LWVPA, because they don't have Milo apparently. So,
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah.
But
Okay.
if they were, wanting to work with us, and it wouldn't obviously be something that we could just support by ourselves. If it was something that the
Yeah,
Pennsylvania League was interested in and was interested in, sponsoring, then we could definitely work with them
sure,
to
sure.
get their stuff on because that's how we worked with the US to make sure that
hmm
their articles and I think oh yeah, their articles come in automatically. Their action alerts we add
Yeah,
manually. But
yeah. Okay.
And the
Yeah,
blogs.
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's good. That mystery is solved.
There you go. And and I don't know if this was part of your question, but since this is a page on its own, this could be promoted to the front page. The news updates page, if that's what you were looking to do.
Like, how would you do that?
Um, I'm masquerading right now, but let's pretend
hmm
that this is your news page. So you could just
Okay.
do it through new draft,
hmm
and go down to the very
Oh,
bottom.
right, right, right. Just
Okay.
like any other page, you
hmm
can.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
I see. I see. hmm But it wouldn't be like,
As you've added new articles, it updates. No.
right.
Yeah.
It's gonna, yeah, forget
The
it. I'm
other
gonna get rid of it.
the other thing too, I was gonna suggest, if you did want it so that folks would see on your front page that it says something about news and I'm just assuming what it would say. It
hmm
would say, check
hmm
out our newest articles here. I could help you create a redirect from that page to your articles view so that
Oh,
all you
okay.
have to do is promote this one single page of news to your front page, and then I will help you in the back end to make that
Mm.
connection from news to articles if that's
I
what you're
think
looking to do.
I think I'll just delete news and just use articles and promote those articles to the front page.
Okay,
I think
individually.
I'd rather do that. Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense because then it
Yeah.
definitely shows the headline and it catches more people's attention.
Right. Right. Okay, good. Thank you.
Emerus,
Yeah.
uh, log on to my League of Women Voters BCC, and I'll show you how I solve. I don't know if it'll work with news, but
Yeah. Where should I go?
go to action alerts.
Action alerts.
See, I got the feeds all from me, and I got the feeds from the US, but I didn't get them from Michigan because Michigan isn't on MyLO. So I inserted a button at the top.
Nice.
So although we don't get the automatic feeds, my members can go here and click there and find it. I don't know if that'll work with news, but
As long,
that's a workaround that I have when we have incompatible systems. How's that?
yeah, as long as you have the link that says edit your league's headers, and if you don't see that link, let me know because then I can help. But all Mike did was edit the headers and then
Inserted the link, hyperlink,
yep. Let's see.
made it a
View
button. Oh, sorry, put the
articles.
text and then inserted it. Well, you know how to do it. I'll show you.
Yeah. But I'm obviously not using the right link. But yeah, just as we would with anything else. And then button style, I think was the last thing. Yeah. And if we
So again, it's
save,
not an automatic feed like I'd like it, but you can go there and find the latest.
hmm yeah, so they do have to go outside of your website to see it, but you can
Mhm.
always make sure it opens in a new tab so that
Yep.
you're not confusing your viewers.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Mary Jo.
I noticed on Tessa's website when she's that area that describes who the league covers, and this is kind of a chapter spot question, but her the geographical groups starts with the
I'm not sure. Oh, is it down
issue
here?
with some new people. Yeah, see how it says
The
the Abington versus Abington or not having the. Do you know, Jennifer, is that causing problems for like new people that are looking?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So,
because it's either League of or League of the, and League of is alphabetized under the O's, and League of the is alphabetized under the T's.
well,
Is this in
okay.
chapter spot or?
This is how it's on National's website. So if you go, it's
Oh,
not by state, it's by alphabet.
I guess I
yes.
haven't looked at that in a while because I usually go and look at their Find My League just to share a link to
Then
a
I
league's
have
website.
to change our name.
There we go.
The problem with that is our our all our documents have the in it, so it would be difficult
See,
to change.
this isn't the one.
Should I,
It must be on the
would Michigan be an example state to
no,
check out?
it must be on the portal.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But it has been a problem. But I think it must only be on the portal because if you find that,
This
that's
is by
alphabet.
state and it so far seems like it's in
Let's
alphabetical
see.
order.
Yeah, try Michigan.
State.
Let's see what Michigan looks like.
So far, so good.
Do we have any of those?
I was also going to just check Pennsylvania to see if, oh, here we,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, there
So
it is.
it is being taken
Yeah.
as part of the league's
Ah,
name.
But
Yeah.
what I did, because
but
mine was all different than it says, because mine now just says Berry and Cass counties, but I had a bunch of stuff in front of it. And I was looking at the Dearborn site and I figured out if you go back to the front, your home page, there's a way to,
Let me go back to a demo site.
I'll leave the demo site. You
Um,
can change the name here. And because it has Z demo,
mhm.
there was a way to do that and also in the header, and then it automatically changed it everywhere else.
Yeah. As far as your MyLO site, if you make the change here, let's just go with
That's, yeah, yes.
the.
We'll go
Um,
backwards this time. Just put the in.
yeah. And then the other thing too, since we're talking about the name, you have the option to remove the of. So at the of after League
Okay.
of Women Voters, if that is not part of your name, you can choose to have that removed as well. I'm
Hmm.
gonna uncheck it so that we could just see the opposite. But yeah, the moment you change it there, you'll see it in your logo, you'll see it in your footer at the top here.
Yeah.
But the logo, we see it now as League of Women Voters of the demo site. And then
Yep.
same thing
So I'm
in the
sorry,
footer.
could you tell me where you did that?
Yeah, I'm on my
Can you show
homepage.
me again? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go back to the settings I had before, so I'll go through it again. So at the top here, this
Oh, for
field
your name.
for
Yeah.
the name,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
then the
Okay.
of was under advanced settings at the very top.
Okay.
Let's just
So
republish.
does that affect only, I mean, our legal documents have the in there, so I would have to change my legal documents too to remove the, or can I just,
I think you need to ask National that.
I think so.
yeah, I think I'll leave it alone.
It's just something to be aware of when you've got members who are brand new. Tell them to make sure that the is in there.
Well, I always send, when I get a new member, I send them the link to our website on their
No,
welcome.
no, I'm talking about what Mary Jo brought up was people are having trouble finding the
Oh,
proper
I
web.
see. I
But where
see.
does National get that list, Jennifer?
I think it's on the chapter spot. It's when you sign, if you're new, if you're a new person and you're trying to
But if
figure
you're,
out what league you wanted to be in.
you could go though, and if you're the administrator and change your header and chapter spot for your chapter.
No, you can't do that. It's a chapter. It's on the national website, and it's a list of all the leagues. Okay, and if your league, like Tessa's has a the in there, it's league of the, and then it's the rest. It's not how pretty the one that Maris found, where it's by state, and then you can break it down.
But
Well,
th this list
usually,
is still going in technically
yeah.
following the as alphabetical order because Greater
Right,
Grand
but
Rapids area should have been higher, right?
right, but I guess the one on the portal
Is
is
all
totally
inclusive.
alphabetical. It doesn't have the state.
Okay. Okay, I
But
see.
usually when people join from our website, it takes you directly
To your
If
leagues.
to
yeah,
your league.
if they
Yeah,
join
So,
from your website.
that is
yeah.
true. Yeah. Yeah, but in Jennifer's point, I do see that. Like if they're coming
Hmm.
either from the National League's website or outside of your website
Yeah.
entirely,
Right.
then they are
Right.
tasked to find it. But that just
Yeah.
sounds like we need to, if it hasn't already been suggested, it's something
It
to
has
let,
been suggested.
I would
But
imagine.
but when you Google something, it's not going to take, it's not
Right.
literal. If you
Yeah,
have
that won't be part of the
LWV
issue.
Abington, Cheltenham, Jenkintown, it's going to give you that. It's going
Hmm.
to, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, definitely if
I'm
they're
not worried
Googling,
about it.
it's getting them
Yeah.
direct to where they need to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to know this little funky thing. Hopefully it is on the National League's radar.
Yes.